Hello and welcome. My name is Evelyn Knight. I am the Childcare Business Coach. If this is your first time watching one of my live videos, or if you are replaying, if you're this early on, you're probably replaying. But I am a Child Care Center owner and a former director of 15 plus years, and I have the Child Care Business Coach podcast. And every Monday morning, I'm coming to you guys with just a series that I kind of think of as my Motivation Monday. And I'm doing this because this is what I do for myself. It really helps me get through the week, and I just really focus on something positive just to help me get by right now. So that's why I am starting to do this for you guys. As of last week was my first week. This is my second week just doing, I'm shifting my Friday videos that I was doing to Mondays, since we need to start off the week on the right foot, right? And when I was doing my videos on Friday, it's like, that's the end of the week. We've passed that home stretch. So shifting over to Mondays now instead of Fridays, just to help motivate us and just something we can take throughout the week and just run with to help us get through these weeks. I know things are not easy. It feels like they're getting harder. We've been in this, I don't know, 16 or 17. I think are we going into week 17? And it's just starting to take its toll. I think we're seeing that with people around the country. The tensions are high, and everybody is just getting tired. So today, because of that, I want to talk about bravery and how one of the things I think this crisis and the crises we're seeing right now have really caused is for us to be brave, right? It is really trying our strength, and it does take a lot of bravery. I don't think it's something we think about a lot, but it does take a lot of bravery for us to get up and go every day right now. And by the way, if you're jumping on, say hi in the comments. Hopefully my comments will come up. Sometimes they don't. And if you have any questions as I go, feel free to write them in the comments. I don't mind answering. And I do look for your questions after the video. So if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to comment. But on bravery, I think this is definitely testing our ability and how we have to be brave and just show up every day, right? I mean, at this point, it feels like it's taking bravery for us just to show up every day, just for us to serve the ones that we need to serve and just to be there for our staff and the children. Especially if you've been open this whole time. It is definitely taking some bravery. And I know for me, that's one of the things. I woke up this morning. There's some things I have to deal with today. And that was one of my first thoughts is I've got to do this. I have to be brave, persevere, get through this, right? For those of you who are new, my husband has end-stage kidney disease and he's on dialysis. So while dealing with all of this, we still have all that stressors. He had a couple strokes in December and January. He had some strokes. So it's been quite the year for us. And it does take a lot of bravery some days just to keep going and just to get up sometimes in the morning. And I know I get on here and I try to be your cheerleader and, just have that positive spin. But it gets hard for me too. And this is why I try and start my days with something positive, a message. And that's why I'm trying to start your week with a positive message, just to help us all just remain brave through these times. So I think just facing what we face, right? How does it make it easier? How do we really just get through our days, some days when we know we're going to have to go face situations that we don't want to deal with? It feels like every week there's a new challenge that we have to figure out, we have to discover and work our way through. We're literally inventing things as we go right now. Every week is different. Every day is different. So one of the things that I do that really, really helps me, and if you guys have watched other videos of mine, you guys know, for me, everything always comes back to my vision. And I know I sound like a broken record when it comes to vision, but it is what keeps me going. It is why with everything I'm facing with my husband and just with COVID and everything else, it's what I just keep coming back to, right? Just my vision. What do I need to accomplish? It's what gets me out of bed in the morning, to be honest. And it's basically, I really just look at the children that we're impacting and some of my staff too. I mean, we do change lives. I love empowering women. That is one of my passions also, is, and men too, actually. I mean, I love taking somebody who didn't think they'd be able to get a college degree or just didn't think they would be able to rise up to something and helping them show them their full potential. It's something I love doing. I love showing people their full potential. So my staff too. But even more than that, I love giving children the opportunity to grow and learn and know that they're coming to a safe, nurturing environment, right? It is what I just live for, is those, just knowing I'm spreading hope for children. And even by doing these videos, I know that the impact I have on children at your centers, right? If I can help motivate you and keep you going and have you have some positivity come out of your week, I know I'm even affecting those children, right? So it's what really, really motivates me and keeps me going. And but it does take some bravery sometimes. And I face my own trials and struggles every day. So I do have to put that brave face on a lot of times and just persevere and push through. And so one of the things that I do is I really focus on the lives that I am impacting, right? I'm really looking at the children that I'm really impacting out there and the difference I make. So I try and choose one child in particular to focus on and try and see, just like if we weren't here for that one child. So during a season, I'll really be focusing on one specific child and the impact that my childcare center and the work that I do is having on that one child. And I really just look at, if I wasn't here, what would be happening to that child? I know they're getting fed. I know they're in a nurturing environment. They're safe. We're helping the parents ease their anxiety. So it's something to really think about right now. Our families are stuck at home, right? And it's just these confined quarters. And we're hearing a lot of divorces happening and things like that because everybody's tension is up here. You know, our tension is so high right now. And it's so hard that people are going home and they're blowing up on their loved ones. And it is really, really just, it's hard, you guys. And it's not normal. And I wish people wouldn't make decisions based on what's happening right now, because what is happening now is temporary. But it's really hard to see that temporary when you're really in the trenches right now, right? It's so hard to focus on the fact that this is temporary. So I look at a child, right? I pick one child to really focus on during a season, and I just remind myself all the time, think of the impact you're doing for, little Johnny. Think of the life change. And I've got a child in my mind. I can tell you right now, there is one child in particular there's actually two right now that I've really zeroed in on. And I remind myself, staying open through this entire COVID time, it's been hard. And I know it's exhausting, you guys. We've never closed throughout all of this. And sometimes I wish we had, because we could have had a little bit of a break. But it's been so hard. But then I always remind myself, like when I start going down that rabbit hole of, oh, we should have taken a break. We should have, it's been hard. I'm exhausted. But I look at this one child and I think to myself, there's actually two right now, but what would have happened to them in the time that I would have closed, right? Their family's tension is so high as it is. The probability of one of the parents snapping and it becoming an abuse situation is very high, very high. I also know that one of the children I'm really focused on right now and zeroing in on, she's had problems in the past where she was malnourished. And, her doctor just had her on prescription diets because she was malnourished. And so that's something I know we're really good at. Sometimes parents it's at no fault of the parents sometimes, right? Because they just don't know. They're feeding them things like mac and cheese and stuff that has no nutritional value at all. And the child who's developing is basically just kind of falling behind because they're not getting what they need to grow. So, but we know that. And my menu at my school, the breakfast and lunch, is going to fill some of those gaps. So between these two children, there's the one that is, an abuse risk that really concerns me. I mean, the parents are not abusive now, but I could see that turning if they're stuck in a house 24/7, right? And remember, you guys, my background is in psychology. I do have a master's degree in psychology, so that's kind of where I, analyze things. And the other one is that child that has been malnourished in the past. I know that when she's with me and with my staff, we're feeding her and everything's good. And I know that, sometimes there's a couple families I have that they've got 3 or 4 children that come to my center, and the parents have a hard time dealing with them. So again, that's another abuse risk, right? And right now things aren't getting reported because the children are stuck. So we're not, they're just trapped in these worlds right now. And you may have children in your centers that you don't even know what's going on at home. And your center could be that refuge for them. It could be the safe place that they go to every week where they get love, support, and understanding. I highly recommend Liz Huntley's book. I can't remember the name of the book. I think it's The Songbird. It's something with a bird, but awesome book. And this is a woman who grew up in extreme poverty, and she credits her preschool experience for the fact that she is now a very successful lawyer, right? She broke the generational chains of poverty and is very successful. And she illustrates in this book in detail how her early childhood, her preschool experience is what changed her life. And she credits her preschool for the fact that she's been able to break that generational cycle and that she's now so successful. And so if you need that motivation and knowing that you are making a change and a difference in somebody's life, read her book. I highly recommend it. The teachers that were her teachers at the time in the administration, she talks about how they had no idea what was going on, the abuse she was suffering, and how her preschool is what saved her and what made her focus safe. And forever, she just stayed future focused because of these women that she worked with and how she admired them so much. So great book when we don't even realize the impact we're having, right? This is an adult telling the story of the impact. And sometimes our children are so young, we forget that we are having an impact on them. We forget that this is going to last to adulthood. So I highly recommend it, you guys, especially right now. If you need the motivation, you need that pickup to just keep going when it's so hard right now. Her name is Liz Huntley, awesome author. She only has the one book, and it is definitely worth the read if you need motivation and a pick-me-up. But find one of those children, you guys. I'm sure if you really think about it and look at the children, you will find that one child in your center that can keep you going. So when it's hard to be brave, when you've got to do those hard things, when you wish maybe I should just close, find that one child. And I guarantee you they will keep you going. Look at their face, go talk to them, do what you need to do to just keep that motivation on, where you can take your mindset out of the part that this is so hard, right? And you can go see this child that needs you, and you can tell yourself it's worth it for this child. You can see that person, that little person that you are making a difference that will last. It does, you guys. The neural networks that are being formed right now are some of the most important foundational pieces that we need to grow our brains into adulthood. So even though it doesn't feel like you're making a difference, you are making a difference in this person's life forever, right? So when you are struggling, find your child, your motivation child, and look at them and remind yourself, this is why I'm doing this. Just tell yourself over and over, I'm doing this for you. And it makes it easier. It really does. Just knowing that that child is benefiting from what you're doing, using them as your catalyst to keep going, it just makes it so much easier to get up out of bed every day and just to go fight for them, right? So when you are fighting, when maybe you're being forced to shut down because of a COVID incident, or parents don't want to pay because they're not bringing their child anymore, or you're seeing that you're at 50% capacity and you just don't know how you're going to keep going on, and or whatever you need to do, just focus on the one child that needs you, the one family. Maybe you have a mom that suffers from depression and she needs that time to herself in order to resurface because she's just so overwhelmed in life. You don't know, maybe you're saving her life, right? We don't know. But I guarantee if you start looking around at the people around you, it might be a staff member who needs their job because they might be in total isolation without you, right? And they may that alone might just make them backslide. you will find that motivational story, that person who can help you keep going, and that helps you see your vision and your why, right? It's giving you that why. Why am I doing this? This is for a bigger picture. This isn't just a center I manage or a center I own. This is a mission. It is something much, much bigger than just me and being an owner, right? That's what I tell myself all the time. Always happens. Ronan, grab them. Grab them. Sorry, guys. My son just got home an hour early from football practice, so my dog's going crazy, obviously. But that's my... Will you grab her, honey? Thank you. Sorry. Life of having a puppy. So that is really just my message today. We have to be brave. We've got to continue on and find that one person, that and child, a teacher, whatever, that will help motivate you, that you know you are making a difference in their lives. That is why you're here. It's your purpose, right? My purpose is to help children, that normally wouldn't be able to come to me. And sometimes they could, their parents can't afford it, but they need us, right? So it is, instead of focusing on the big picture, see the evidence of your work. That's pretty much what I do, is I find a child that is the evidence that my vision is coming to fruition. And I focus on them to get me through. And that's really what motivates me to keep fighting and to keep going through during times like this. And even what I'm doing with you guys, right? I know that if I help just one of you, right? And I've had in the last month 3 different owners reach out to me and tell me that the motivation that I've given them basically helped them not shut down their centers. They were ready to just close, but they go back and watch my older videos and whatnot, and it helps them stay motivated to open. That helps me to just keep going. That's where and I can keep going in a positive mind frame. When I think about that, it's empowering. So I know I can just help myself to be more positive, not to let this just completely take me over. And it really does help me to just keep going every day. So that's my message for you guys today. You've got to keep being brave and find that one child or even a teacher that motivates you to keep fighting, to keep going when things are exhausting. I know they're exhausting, but find that one motivation. And even if you have to print a picture out of them, right? Put it on your mirror so when you're getting ready in the morning, you can look at that person. And know that I'm fighting for you. There is a purpose. This is so much bigger than just being a director of a center or an owner of a center. Our work is so much bigger than just that. We are affecting real human lives that can last for a lifetime. So have a wonderful week, everybody. And again, send me any of your comments. If you're watching replay, give me a #replay. Let me know you're here. Have a great week.